What's up, guys? Well, hi, Mark. Anything for my princess, Gilgamesh. So has Trump said enough bearish stuff for this to crash? Who knows? He's been busy this weekend. He's threatening bombing and secondary tariffs on Tehran today. He's willing to put a he's taking the belt to Putin by relieving him of all the current economic sanctions pressed against him, but promising a 25 to 50% tariff on his oil. Hegseth has been busy meeting with foreign defense ministers with his wife because he's got too much brain damage from the alcohol to form coherent sentences or make plans or remember what occurs during the meetings. It's okay. She's just also a journalist. And because they're married, of course, all the information is privileged. It was bring your wife to work day. He said he's making deals on automotive tariffs, and he's going to be announcing pharmaceutical tariffs soon. How was my weekend? Pretty good. It was better than I would have expected. Hey, Jen Jen. Just opened X to see he said he won't rule out a third term. There are ways to do it. There are. Hopefully the people rule that out long before then. Liberation Day, April 2nd. Yep. The launching of the External Revenue Service. So excited. I can't wait for poor people to pay my taxes for me. It's gonna be sweet. Where do I sign up? You just have to hit the get rich button. Wait, what? What's that, Jen? Extortion revenue system. Is that included in my dues? No. It's additional, like a tariff. 10-year auto loans at 10%, 60-year mortgages at 8%. Yeah. Auto manufacturers are going to have to extend those warranties a bit. Kia's already got it covered, though, as long as you don't drive more than 10,000 miles a year. And who hasn't wanted a 60-year mortgage? If you make an extra payment towards your principal every month or once a year, yeah, once one extra principal payment a year, you can shave 8 years off that mortgage, and then that's only 52 years. I instructed other pickles to slaughter their windowsills in salad dressing. Are we sacrificing goats again? That was so 2022. Or get stolen by Kia boys. That's what insurance is for. Also, they fixed that. Coleslaw has dressing. I bought an entire pallet of Thousand Island for this. Why Thousand Island? Like the stream, you T-Gens. Yeah, seriously. What the fuck? Except Poopy. I don't want his likes. You bitch. The three words best describe the intelligence of Poopy: vapid, unsubstantiated rhetoric. That didn't even take me long. Giant green candle from 21 to 32 likes. We're doing it, boys. DRS those likes. Alright. Carl sent me a list of stocks, and I'd like to say that you all suck. Several of you asking not only about Fubo, but also GME. I'm going to ignore Cobra's request for me to look at Sava. And no, VIX doesn't mean market crash. We have to wait till after the end of the month. I was cat sitting. Nice. Nope, someone did ask about Neo. Also probably you. What's up, Greg? I'm gonna miss the market crash. Oh my god. I did not contribute from said list. Well, that's good. Poopy must have gotten all the vaccines because he's giving AJ a run for his #1 Spurgy Pickle status. Yeah, AJ's been intelligently quiet lately, which is shocking. Although I think he just has less questions when the market goes in one direction. I made money on that trend day, Friday. It was great. It was. It was pretty awesome. Why didn't you put Cat on the list? Yeah. All right. Let's start off with the stocks I hate. Fubo. You know what? You know what happens is I like these stocks, and then you guys talk about them too much, like it's something that needs to be discussed every single week, and it like accelerates the rate at which I become super bored with them. What if we just not do it? GS exists. Goon time? Are you saying like I could just take Sundays off? What? No. Pop in and talk about the indexes for like 30 minutes and be out. I'd love that. Ban that guy. No, no, this is my own personal hell, and I've subjected myself to it. You guys want to talk about Fubo? We're gonna fucking talk about Fubo. We're gonna talk about Fubo so much you never want to talk about Fubo again. And by that I mean I'm gonna discuss it for like 2 minutes and then move on to something else. Um, this looks boring and like it failed to break out above 350. Probably because no one cares. Despite Fubo representing 99% of your portfolio, market wide, it's just not that interesting. Still has good support at 3, interest at 350. And by interest, I mean Atomic's calls. And then a little bit of interest at 4 and 5 also. Other people's calls. Not mine. Mine are at 3. Also, awesome. I didn't see what it did on Friday. Nothing else interesting is happening here, but maybe it'll get some support at $3 or 250. Yeah, why not? Oop. Hold on. There we go. Oh, it's so tiny. Why did it make it so tiny? All right. Weird. GME. They released a bunch of zero coupon bonds to buy Bitcoin. So, dog shit. Dog shit. It's gonna get shorted into the dirt by anybody who buys the bonds and literally everyone else. Looks terrible. Has plenty of more room to the downside. I'm pretty sure XRT is still on reg show. Also selling because lots of liquidity coming out of the downside move. Remember when I was bullish on it and I was like, it's gonna go to Gamma Max? That was the best time to sell GME. When it went to Gamma Max. XRTs are reg show security, which means its failure to delivers have been consistently higher than a percentage of its float for X number of days, and that its clearing needs to be managed directly by the exchange due to failures. See, it's the retail ETF? Yeah. Doesn't that mean cycles are back on the menu, though? No. Why does it mean cycles are back on the menu? Because it's on Reg Show? It was on Reg Show earlier this year, too. They'll clear it, but who the fuck knows what price GameStop will be at by the time they do? Yeah, GameStop still mostly sucks. There's some opportunities, but they're hit or miss. Yeah, I closed out my GME calls the day before. Well, actually, it was like the day. It was the day that Cohen announced the convertible bonds. Puts did go up a lot, which is rare. Usually puts suck on GME. So I would say it's probably got more downside. But we could take a look at the options chain. Still supportive delta at the 20 strike, which so far hasn't broken down. But it looks like puts are being bought out of the money at 15, 10, and 5. Those are probably sold. Yeah, those are probably being sold. So, still decent support at 20. Long term, I could see it falling below that. Maybe a little bit. Gamma neutral still down at $11. Delta kind of bounced back from some dip buying. Yeah, so it might find some support around here and get like a small bounce and then very possibly get shorted down again after that. Realized vol is quite high. No real change in IV 10 or 30 on the drop. It'll still be a struggle to get below 20. That breaks 350. It gets juicy. Probably. And you didn't get hurt by it. I mean, my options were expiring like the next day. My friend has grandma's inheritance. She gave him all in on GMA. Yeah. Can't wait till Code buys the top of Bitcoin. That's gonna go great. Alright, what's next? Zom. Oh, interesting. Probably, yeah, probably still just between 110, 120. Looks like nothing's really changed. It got pretty close to the 120 test on Wednesday. Didn't fail too much. There's going to be continued concerns over oil going into the start of this week with with the potential Russian tariffs, and then also like the heated up dialogue between the U.S. and Iran and the breaking of the ceasefire in Israel. So yeah, I would say it kind of looks like it's getting rejected here a little bit. And then, support at 15, support at 10 to the downside. Interest at 15's picked up a bit. People seem moderately comfortable selling puts on it, although some of those fall off in April. Seems like the 120 puts are getting sold too. Let me look up into the April expiry. Yeah, I would actually go so far as to say it's probably going to end up between 115 and 120, with less likelihood at 110. But Gamma still falls off really, really sharply down to like 103. So any downside move is going to be kind of nasty if one happens. So if there's like a resolution to any of those things, that's kind of bad. Vol's kind of picking up a little bit, but realized Vol's falling off, which is slightly bullish. Uh, Slightly bullish, but no positioning to support it. So yeah, we could talk about TBM. Chevron's probably. Sure. I mean, I don't know if I'd sell calls on them. There's too much of a chance for like oil to the current outlook on oil to shift right now. Um, VIX market crash. Well, that's great. We could look at VIX, but I'm definitely not writing it up. Very neat. A lot of delta. People are going long vol. That's usually not a great sign. I'll cover some of that because I didn't get to go over the macro stuff on Friday, so I'll cover some of that end of day. Or well, I'll cover some of the end of day stuff at the when we get to indexes and shit. Not looking at Sava. Rig. Oh, that must be tungsten. What the hell do you want to know about Rig? I find it hard to ignore their extensive backlog of committed business. The aggregate incremental backlog associated with fixtures is approximately 175 million as of Feb 12. The company's total backlog is approximately 8.3 billion. I'd love to hear an opinion on shorter term price action. Got a bunch of neutral ratings recently. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they can sit on that backlog of committed business for a very long time. Those contracts are not short. Still have a lot of like bullshit, like legal action placed against them for by short sellers for like investor non-disclosures and stuff. Anything actually important? Just class action suits. Fleet utilization rates increasing, which is kind of nice. $630 million expenses ranging from capital expenditures of the first quarter forecast at 59 million. Cash taxes are expected to be 13 million. Hmm. Looks like liabilities are starting to come down a little over the last 3 quarters. Not fucking much though. Cash flows are picking back up over the last 2 quarters. That's a good sign. I wonder what impact tariffs will have for them. It shouldn't be very substantial. Still not making any money though. What are they losing it on? $91 million last quarter on interest expense. $55 million in taxes on $62 million pre-tax income. It's a net positive $7 million. And then a negative $108 million dilution adjustment. Oof. The diluted net income's fucking killing them. Growth rate's on track though, so I could see them moving to positive, like a positive EPS like over the next maybe like 3 or 4 quarters. Which should significantly improve their return on equity and net margins, which kind of fucking suck right now. That would obviously be good for them, but I'd still want to see them handle their like long-term debt a little bit more aggressively. Even their current liabilities are pretty high. Hmm. 6.16 billion in net debt. All right, what's next up on the list? In the short term. Plenty of gamma up to like 5. if price were to continue to improve. I don't think this is particularly influenced by its options chain, and it's already in a positive delta environment, but I would say it could trade between its current price and like $4 pretty easily. Resistance. There's some interest at 5 too. All right, what's next? DAR saw on GS support around 30. Thoughts on a target of 37.50. Okay, pushing up through delta neutral. I don't particularly like how gamma looks. Mm. Hmm. Sure, on a break of 32, I could see that. Although 35 is going to be resistive also. Hey, Lizard King. Neo, would you consider getting shares? No. K-View, massive GEX increase near Gamma Max, far dated. I can't tell if bullish. I feel bearish on it. I mean, it's doing good. A lot of delta coming in. Gamma's pretty stable. I mean, this is just a desirable company to buy because it's consumer non-durables. Like consumer staples are just good right now. Looks like all of that increase in delta is at like the 25 strike. So, I mean, which would be pretty much in line with its valuation. So, I mean, I feel like this is just starting to price where it should be anyway. If you've been in it since back when it was like 17, then you should have a pretty good fucking, or what was it? Yeah, like 17 something. You should have a pretty good cost basis. So doing well. I don't, I don't know how much higher it's going to continue over time, but the interest at 25 is a good signal. Yeah, September, April, kind of split. Could be sold. Could be people assuming that this is near a top, but hard to tell. I'd have to look at vol. Yeah, might be sold calls. With the dividend it has, it's not likely to be driven by like it's for for what is effectively a blue chip stock, it has a very high dividend, like 3.46%, something like that. So that's pretty high for like what is essentially the non-durables Johnson and Johnson business. I know price action's been a little exciting lately, but that's because confidence in the economy is like waxing and waning. But I wouldn't expect this to do a whole lot. Even in the event of like a significant market downturn, it probably wouldn't go very high. It should just be something that's, carrying like a moderate multiplier somewhere around like 15 to 20. And then, I mean, growth should be also fairly moderate on it. Slight increases in the dividend over time. It's like it shouldn't be very interesting. I was looking to sell calls on it. Wow, it looks like everyone else did at 25. Shit. SMCI, up, down, sideways. Let's take a look at it. Looks like it's consolidating. 35. Doesn't it doesn't look great. Delta's falling off. Bumps and gamma seem fairly short dated. Maybe something towards their earnings, but where spot is right now, bearish down to 30. It's like maybe some support at 33 and 30. Nvidia, interesting to know if position is like, should it go sub 100, or if it's worth even shorting more. Let's take a look. SMCI's price action will probably be tied heavily into this anyway. Losing 110 is significant. Then there's support at 105, 100, which is the same thing the last time it was down in this range. Volatility turned back around a bit over the last couple of days. So maybe some volume coming in at the 110 strike. Yeah, looks like it. Did it sell off in after hours on Friday? Because being below VN's not great. Closed 109.67. And then sold off to 109 in after hours, which was the intraday support. Yeah, looks like it could drop, maybe down to delta neutral. Total delta on the chain's been falling off pretty consistently. Gamma doesn't look too hot. Probably not going to go under 100 though. Yeah, I would say in the near term it's probably not going to fail 100 unless the market crashes or something. Rivian long-term outlook. Ah, fuck. All right. Let me be kind of clear on this one. The EV industry as a whole is in a state of failure, right? Like it's clearly the future direction of powertrains for vehicles and all of that, but it's like EVs as the core model of a business has failed. It's failed in every attempt. I mean, very specifically, look at Tesla with all of the financing they've had, with all of the support they've had, and then all of the government subsidies they've had. They've still not managed to overtake a significant portion of the U.S. auto market, and the company's currently in decline. I don't think that like the core model of a business being EV focused is beneficial to them. That was called sarcasm. My pronouns are bull bear. I heard go EV to the moon. I mean, it's just a shitty model. The production costs are insanely high. Building out the necessary infrastructure is expensive, and now all of these companies are going to have to work against the headwind of tariffs because all of their parts are sourced from fucking China or China via Canada. It really doesn't matter. China via Mexico. That's going to be that's going to be a like that's going to be rough. I don't think the long term outlook is particularly well, at least based on current conditions. I don't think the long term outlook looks very good right now. Yeah, rebates are gone too, which disincentivizes what little sales they already had. And Rivians are expensive. I mean, the audience they target can buy them, but what's going to make them choose Rivian over Lucid? What's going to make them choose Rivian over Lexus, Toyota, as they implement more EVs into their lineup? I mean, I just don't know that they're in as a stable of an economic position as companies like Honda, Toyota, Ford, GM, who are going to receive a massive amount of government subsidization on the back of these tariffs because that's what they're designed for, right? They're supposed to stimulate U.S. manufacturing, and if that's the goal, then why would the money be going to Rivian? Toyota's about to go crazy with PHEVs and BEVs. What about Rivian delivery trucks? Amazon owns like a big fat chunk of Rivian still, don't they? I don't know. I think the analytic approach to like Tesla down, Rivian up is too. It's not hmm, nuanced enough. There's other headwinds. Like Rivian doesn't make fucking money for starters. The revenues are kind of shit and falling. They fell over the last like 3 quarters. Their revenues have been down. Liabilities have just been increasing over the same time period. Most of those are long-term liabilities. But when your trailing 12 months of revenue is 4.97 billion and your cost of goods sold is 5.96 billion, you're in a hole that's kind of hard to dig yourself out of. Not to mention their vehicles are basically unrepairable. A lot of insurance companies are just totaling them rather than pay the cost to repair them because the parts are so fucking expensive. And those parts, which are likely not entirely sourced from the US, are going to just cost 25% more following the tariffs. No, I'm saying a company that's already very good at making cars should make EVs. I don't think it's like a startup, like a good startup model. Like all the EV startups have failed. Every single fucking one of them, with the exception of Tesla. And currently, Elon Musk holds like one of the most powerful positions in government, and his stock's down 50%. And I feel like that should tell you everything you fucking need to know about the industry. No, there's still people trying to get like $20,000 for their used Teslas. They're not gonna get it, but they're still trying to. Well, Elon just sold Twitter to his AI startup so that he can put the liquidation of his AI startup in between him and Tesla. So he's just creating legal hurdles for his debtors, which I'm sure they'll be very happy about. There are a lot of Teslas driving around. They're cheap as fuck right now. It doesn't matter if he uses your data to train the AI. It's not going to make it better. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I don't have like a lot of long-term confidence in Rivian. The price is cheap if they were to succeed, but I mean, it's not that cheap. Their net margins last quarter were at negative 42%, which was a slight improvement from the like negative 100 plus percent average that they've carried previously. And their EPS went up a bit. But I think, eventually that, like, oh, I sold my Tesla, I need to buy a Rivian fad is going to die down. Americans aren't very good at being, like, up in arms about something for more than 3 months. I'd rather drive my 250K mileage Corolla than a Tesla. I'm not kidding. They're kind of shitty cars, but I mean, a lot of people make shitty cars, and that's usually fine. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely buy a Lexus over a Rivian any day. I think most people would buy something with, reliability in mind, especially with tariffs. And if car prices are going to increase broadly, and dealerships are definitely going to take advantage of that, right? So you not only are you going to have the supply side increasing car prices, but you're going to also have dealers trying to increase prices as well. There's really not a people aren't going to be incentivized to buy something that's unproven. People are going to fall back to, I mean, what they do in every recession, which is fall back to models that they consider reliable. Now, wherever you live in the country, that varies, right? There's a big chunk of the country that's like, I only buy GM or Ford, right? And they think those cars are reliable, and then everyone else buys cars that are actually reliable. But yeah, if there's an economic decline, reliability becomes the key concern for most consumers. Are we in a recession? Depends. Are you poor? If you're poor, yes. No, then not yet. So poor people buy more Toyotas, but Toyota loses money if yen rises. Yeah, well, Toyota North America won't, but Toyota Japan would. Toyota flat? They'll make more money on domestically sold vehicles. Like the stronger yen conversion will favor them eventually. So no, I don't think they'd lose more money. Which they've been shifting to Mexico. Gonna shift it right back, aren't they? I'm poor. Can I get poorer? Yeah. Anyway, that's about as much as I want to talk about Rivian. QBTS, D-Wave Quantum Cloud Fraud Stock. It's going to zero eventually, right? I don't know. Fraud. Fraud's usually bullish. Kind of looks like a double tops. Maybe back to like $5. Doesn't look like it's going much below 5 right now. Support a little bit of support at 6. 550. Could chop at 750. There's actually a lot of upside interest above 750. So if this bounced at any point, especially now that it's almost, well, it's almost filled its downside gap at, what is that? 712. Hmm. P PB. The sandwiches are good. Their business isn't. Let's see how they're doing. Yeah, EPS is slightly growing. This is definitely not. Man, there's a lot of like long-term shit on here this week. And fucking markets like tanking on Friday, and everyone's like, I wonder what I can invest in. The fucking irony of the pickle jar never ceases to amaze me. It's like, what, VIX at 30? Yeah, let's get some fucking. Let's buy some stocks here. Trading at a very low multiple to their earnings, but they do have some earnings, which is kind of interesting. They're not great earnings, but decent. Looks like their margins aren't extraordinarily strong. Um, I'm assuming that they will need to open more locations in order to grow. Which they have not done yet. They blamed the weather for a possible slide in store sales. So, I would say that the current downside might be due to their statements their statements at earnings. This could be maybe an advantageous buying opportunity if their sales don't decline due to weather as expected. Seems there's a little bit of support on the trend here. Next earnings is on May 1st, which is still another month out. But with analysts' estimates being for EPS loss in the next quarter, a beat would probably be pretty bullish. I would say maybe watch for a failure of like the 930 level. If it fell back to like 750 prior to the next earnings, that might be an interesting entry. This is a pretty small float with not a lot of market capitalization, like 24 million shares. Clearly not a business that's expanding rapidly yet. But I'd be interested to see if they had any plans for expansion because they need something to boost their margins up. Um, if growth remains on track, though, it could probably pretty easily get back to like 11 or $12. So yeah, I mean, it might be a little bit advantageously priced right now. I do think near $7 would be a better buy because you got to take on the risk that they're correct and that their earnings really do decline due to the weather. But that seems kind of a stupid fucking reason for their earnings to go down. Maybe there's something I don't know. Maybe all of their like locations are outdoors or something. I mean, there's just not a lot of things worth investing in right now. All the best companies, the like staples and blue chips, are all overvalued still, and there's just too much risk and uncertainty in smaller cap stocks. I mean, there's some opportunities, but I don't think a lot of long term ones currently. Yeah, also you have to beat the 10-year yield, which is tough. So they need to be above the bar set by treasuries or, corporate bond returns, which is going to be between like 4.3 to like 5.5. And then also, not already be trading at, 30 to 40x their forward earnings, which really slims down the number of available companies that are even worth looking into. What about B Hat? Hold on, I want to write up PBPB. All right. And then someone wanted to know about what? AMAT? AMAT? Ugh, fuck, that looks terrible. You guys remember when this shit went up to $200? Looks like it could keep dropping. 125. Yeah, there's still some room to the downside. Maybe like maybe just like 140. What else? Is SRF the only stock worth owning? No. I mean, all of the long-term stuff that I picked out previously is doing well now. But that doesn't mean that there's necessarily advantageous things to buy now. Cat? Yeah, we could look at Cat. Cat's a nice domestic manufacturer that's gonna get fucking hammered with tariffs. It's not at support yet. Support looks like it's gonna be down at like 320. Uh, Gamma neutral's getting a bit closer to spot, but Gamma fell negative on Friday. I would say there's probably going to be fear until the tariffs are out. This could slip as low as like 312, maybe even like 305 before finding another level of like meaningful support. There's some technical support at 325, but I would say until there's a decision made on tariffs, that this probably doesn't look good. Might be worth playing on the back of tariffs or like going long out of the money in the hopes that Trump peels back his promises. What about F? Ugh. I really haven't looked into their financials in quite a long time. How's their debt issue doing? Let me be really clear about something. I fucking hate Ford. They have dog shit margins. The only advantage to buying them is generally the dividend yield. They're still sitting on $250 billion in debt. 106 billion of which is current. Lots of people sell covered calls on Ford, which inherently makes selling covered calls on Ford bad. It's got a bit of a technical recovery off of the $9 low. I'm sure they'd benefit from subsidies of the Trump administration. I can see it getting back above 10, maybe. Maybe not in the short term, but maybe in the long term. Options chains are pretty flat, which it fucking almost always is. It almost always has like $800 million worth of delta. There's a few changes occasionally here and there, but for the most part, it rarely goes up substantially, and it doesn't look like Friday's expiration really changed that at all. There's a bit of interest to the upside if it gets above 10. Also, weird fucking strikes at like 967, 985. But yeah, I mean, I guess if it gets above 10, it could push out to like 1085. Ooh, fire. Vol's increasing, which is a good sign for bullishness in the 30-day window. Maybe it'd be worth selling like CSPs on, but I wouldn't want to do that in a falling market with unknown automotive tariffs on the horizon. That's like 60-day vol look. That's moving up quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, it looks like people are going long on it. They're buying out of the money calls, but it's like not a lot of them. Thank you, Mr. Bison. Alright, so I'll put it up. Can't change my membership to Dillionaire. Am I banned? No, you shouldn't be. Not at all. 1 second. Yeah, you might need to try it on like youtube.com instead of trying to do it on mobile. Alright. Hey guys.
Oh, what's up? You're early. You're
Okay.
never early.
Yeah, it's not 11:30. What?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we
Oh,
can hear
okay.
you.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're talking to you right now.
Yeah. Dirk's got a really big wiener.
Ew.
Gross.
It's actually not.
Thanks. Let me take a picture of
Hey,
this, and then
guys,
I will be
you guys
back. I have to run down to my lobby real quick to grab my
Okay.
food, but I'll be back in like 5 minutes, so you guys can just chat.
All right. Hey, Jay Fresh.
What's up?
Did you see on Friday the market went down?
Yeah, I did.
Bonds went up too.
I was the only one who predicted the correct trend last week.
Yeah.
Just down.
Yeah.
I lost. I predicted too much down.
Yes, you did. Did I win?
I don't know.
I think Girk won. He always wins. He cheats.
So why do you think it went down? Everybody has a theory.
I mean, honestly, I think it's because the administration hasn't calmed down on its like just all kinds of unilateral shit. I think the unilateralism expressed by them is reducing confidence in the market. Plus, this bounce really didn't have a ton of legs, right? It was like, one gap up and we were in territory where we could reverse, but it just failed like almost immediately. So,
Yeah. Do you know why I think it went down?
because there's less put leverage.
No, because people sold.
Oh, dude, that is a revolutionary idea. Why didn't I think of that?
Well,
People don't sell. Don't they listen to Dave Ramsey?
what has Dave Ramsey been saying? No, the answer is no. I hope.
He's been saying if you save $200 a month at 20% compounding interest, you'll be a millionaire in 5 years.
Interesting.
He's practically a genius.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay. Doesn't he
yeah.
also say pay down your smallest debt first, not the highest interest rate?
I've never actually listened to Dave Ramsey besides very short clips that I've seen floating around.
Oh.
I consider most people who have like a very popular channel to be trying to sell me something. No offense, Girk. Uh,
He's not here.
yeah.
Say whatever you want.
So I generally tend to take it with a grain of salt, right? Like I was telling you about that IQ test. They're trying to sell me something, so they called me smart.
I just can't believe you took an IQ test.
It took me 10 minutes, dude. I was bored out of my skull. It was like I was like thinking about. I was like, I've never taken one of these things. I'm gonna try it.
They're like not even real. It
I
might as well
know.
be just like, I don't know, what do you call it? Like tarot card reading at this point.
It was
Astrology.
it was a bunch of like logical questions too. So I'm sure if I tried to fail it, would probably tell me I'm an idiot. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I should test that.
Good.
Pick nothing but wrong answers and see if it says I have an IQ of 110.
Yeah, sure.
Or if it gives me an IQ of 150. Maybe they've inverted it, so that way the dumber people seem even smarter. I think that might be the more logical case. I think I actually have an IQ of 70.
Is deficit actually going down? Oh no, it's because of it did the same thing near the end of 2022, which I think was the last time we had the debt ceiling issue, and then they kicked the can to now.
Oh yeah, they
Because
passed the thing.
since the start of this year, basically, we've dropped our deficit spending from about 6.8% of GDP a year or 6.8% growth to about 5% growth year over year. But that's because we're, 400 billion down on the TGA,
Yeah, that sounds right.
which if I look at that time frame, we were running at just about a $2 trillion deficit at the end of 2024. And now we're running on like a 1.5 trillion deficit roughly. Yeah. So it's basically all just TGA rundown.
Nice.
Cool. The TGA rundown looks like it's having a very teeny tiny effect on rates. Very, very small though. Just flattening them out.
Well, here's my economic outlook right here. I just put it in the chat.
It'll be fun. When do they have to start actually selling bonds again to fill the TGA?
Uh,
I guess it
as soon as
completely
this,
depends on how much they get from taxes.
at that and yeah, exactly. It's pretty much that. Which, yeah, I don't the revenue structure that I see getting put in place is very haphazard. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to shake out.
Well, so it looks like fiscal year to date, just from spending, we're currently sitting for the fiscal year, which starts in October, at $1.1 trillion, which is what? Still on course for 2 trillion in spending. Maybe. I mean, again, it depends on how much they get. Although there's like weird stuff, like when the IRS is like, we expect we could get up to 500 billion in deficit or something, or fewer taxes from people just trying to evade taxes because they think that they can, which sounds insane. I mean, I'll have to see it to believe it. It sounds aggressive.
Yeah.
I don't know very many people that are like, I'm gonna see if I can get a couple extra $1,000 back on my taxes by, through fraud that they just definitely won't catch.
Or just lying, yeah.
Yeah, but so compared to the national deficit for the same period last year, our national deficit has increased by 318 billion. Cool. That's cool and fun.
That's still Biden's fault, bro.
Well, certainly. When are those supposed to take effect? How much I thought I saw something that said that Musk is going to try to like dip out and like pass it off and go back, get out of the limelight because everybody hates him and no one's buying his cars.
Last I saw, he was trying to he was bribing people to vote to like have a petition so they could fire judges, and he was going to give 2 people who voted in the petition $1 million to be spokespeople. I wish I was joking, but it was his own Twitter post where he said this.
What
Yeah,
a goddamn fraud.
I know, right? That's crazy, dude.
I can't wait until Tesla goes bankrupt.
Like this guy, he has enough money to give every man, woman, and child in America $1,000, right? And so if you get rid of all the children, he could give every man, woman, and child in America a couple grand just to vote for whoever he wants them to vote for, and they'll do
How
it.
many billions is he worth?
Oh, that's right. Tesla went down, so I don't know. Actually, like, isn't he worth like 300 billion or something?
300 billion. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's all gone to cuckoo town. And the craziest part is they're normalizing it, and they're trying to normalize this idea of marching on Greenland as well because they want it so bad.
I don't understand that. Is that just an oil play? What is in Greenland that we want? Do they even speak English? Like, what are we going to do with it?
I think it's the northern trade corridor that they're all concerned about, like between China, Russia, and I guess America through that northern corridor.
All right.
Yeah, that's the best thing I could think of is that trade route. They just want control over it, or at least to be a part of negotiations on it. And Greenland being part of EU means that EU gets all the benefits from any sort of a bilateral agreement or trilateral agreement between the nations.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he just wants a piece of that action, and he's willing to kill American soldiers for it. That's all.
Yeah, that's all.
Totally chill. It's not the first time he's gotten American soldiers killed. A lot of presidents do that, though.
Yeah. So using my handy dandy interest calculator on like what the market needs to get from treasuries so that they're not just continually sinking money into bonds and raising their bond holdings percentage wise
Mm-hmm.
is around 5%.
Woo! That is a steep bill.
If you factor in the fact that the Fed has been selling off things It's closer to 7.5%.
Well, you just take those treasuries and lever them into shorting volatility.
Yeah.
There you go. Problem solved.
It's actually kind of interesting if you just look at like historically, what percentage of people's holdings are bonds. They're pretty much flat for like the last 30 years. Like people don't want to own. There is a certain amount of cash that everyone wants to hold on to that they're like not willing to part with under any circumstance. We're pretty much there. I mean, we
Nice.
were there at 6,100 when we just tippy tapped the peak, the 20-year, or no, the 25-year peak in stocks versus cash holdings for households. Like we literally top ticked exactly where the top of the .com was, and now we're trending down a little bit.
Wait, was that top inflation adjusted or no?
Yeah, it was inflation adjusted.
Okay, then that's perfect. Yeah.
So
Love
in terms of like cash to stock leverage, we hit the top of the .com bubble last quarter,
Nice.
or quarter 4 of 2024.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's totally
So,
fine,
and of
dude. We're
course,
good.
narrative follows price, but if nothing had happened, we would have just sat flat. Like there's just of
Right.
course we were always just like the whole way up, we're just like we've got to stop doing this soon, right? We're not gonna recreate the .com bubble. We aren't that stupid, right? And then we did. And it's like, well, we're not gonna make one bigger than the .com bubble, are we? And the answer is right now it looks like no, but we'll see.
Right.
I mean, a lot has to happen. I mean, we got to really push to get up there. I mean, by the end of the year, we've got to be over 6,400 for that to possibly be true. So,
I love all the analyst price targets that we've been seeing lately
yeah,
too.
like the
That are
7,000. It's like do you think they know that they're calling for like 100-year event? They're just
just
flippantly
casually fucking dude.
gonna.
3 sigmas, bro.
I
It's all
predict
good.
the highest amount of household leverage in 100 years.
Right.
Just because stocks go up.
Or maybe they know what they're predicting. They're predicting everybody gets a 50% raise.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if they print a bunch more money, then yes, we are. I mean, the second the Fed starts printing money, you buy.
Yeah.
You buy everything. Everything that will still have value no matter what, which is definitely not debt. It is companies that have a monopoly on things that we need, like energy and food.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Shit like that. Although, yeah, there might actually be some opportunities to get some of those things coming up here, especially with tariffs that are scaring everybody away. I don't have any targets or I haven't done my homework on that, but it seems like something that might have some low hanging fruit in the coming months or over the next year.
well, the only problem
If
is like a
assuming
Trump
the
tweet
Fed
could
doesn't
ruin it.
swoop in immediately. I mean, once the Fed swoops in, you just buy every risk asset or also buy hard assets too, because they're going to go like houses are just going to go back up and then.
Oh yeah. Well, your money's gonna get diluted like crazy.
Right.
So
So you just don't want to own cash once they start buying.
Yeah. I'm just
But
gonna take out a bunch of payday
I
loans.
really don't think they're going to start buying until like something happens in the bond market, right? So like
That's
right
it. That's
now,
it. Yeah.
we're kind of going into like that part where I was expecting was like first people will sell out of stocks and try to go into bonds. It's actually kind of funny. So like even with the stock selling off and even with the TGA drawing down, like bonds are still just kind of flat. I mean, yeah, they've just kind of been sitting around 90, which
Yeah.
seems really scary to me because I mean, nobody has any appetite for bonds at that price, basically. Uh, Everyone's just running into cash. But I think if the sell-off gets worse, people are still going to slowly move into bonds, and rates should go a little bit lower. Then the government will continue to issue all of their debt, and that's when rates must go up because the debt is growing faster than the money supply. Then, once bonds start getting screwed and banks start crying, then the Fed will come in, buy some bonds, print some money, and that's when you go. So I guess right now you could trade bonds. You could anticipate that people are going to run into them, but that's you kind of don't know like where that bottom is going to fall out because the government is so hard to predict on like when they're going to actually get their shit together and
Regulators are
how.
generally clueless. Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of how I expect this to go. I think stocks are going to continue to suffer. Bonds are going to pop, and then they're going to suffer under the weight of the new debt issuance. And then if
I think
either the Fed doesn't come in and just like everything gets fucked, and we actually have to deal with the fact that we've been snorting cocaine for 15 years, really 25 years, or they come in and they print, and then you get back into risk.
we've been snorting cocaine for closer to 30 years at this point.
Yeah, true.
Like, because this all started with the Greenspan like put, right? So, and that's where we got our first taste, and it was downhill ever since in terms of the value
Yeah,
of our dollar.
so I'm looking at my updated graphs, and maybe I'll post these on Twitter later. But yeah, so it looks like oh, my dates are all fucked up, but it still looks fine. It looks like M2 is growing steadily at about 3.9% year over year, which is interestingly enough about what wages are growing. So wages are basically just tracking with the increase in the money supply. But that's still not enough to capture the 5-ish% growth in debt, which is really closer to 6 or 7% growth in debt because, of the TGA kind of drawing that number down temporarily.
Have you gotten the new
Um,
FHLB numbers in yet? FHLB advances? I
I,
don't think
I
we have.
haven't looked. I haven't looked.
Show
It's actually kind of crazy too.
Z
The
tables.
nominal GDP is running in lockstep with U.S. debt. So
Mm-hmm.
actually, this is kind of interesting. I wonder if this is worth exploring, if these are connected. The yearly drop of GDP growth is basically correlated perfectly with the drop in the growth of US debt over this year.
Gee, it's almost like our economy is fueled by that shit.
Right, but they're still spending the money. And actually, if you think about it, it's even better because they're temporarily not issuing debt. They're spending down a pile of cash and circulating it.
Yeah.
So it almost doesn't, it seems like it should be a coincidence, but it just tracks so, like literally it's oscillating perfectly with the oscillation of US debt. It's bizarre.
I'm just looking at the Z tables because they came out a couple weeks ago and I totally missed it.
Oh yeah, I still have to update those too. Let me
Yeah, I just threw a table in there for quick at a glance shit.
yeah, that's what I was gonna look at next. I have a script. Let me try to remember where I put this
Oh god,
stupid
this
script.
PDF is fucking awful, dude.
Yeah. Where's Girk? How long does it take to get food? All
Maybe
right,
his elevator broke.
Oh no! What floor is he on? Asking for a friend.
he's like banging on the elevator door. Let me out!
He's at the bottom and the elevator's broken.
Right.
Won't let him back up, and he's like, "Well, I guess I'm dying here."
And well, even worse though, too. Like he's on I don't even know what floor he's on, but he's on some crazy high floor, and like they're doing maintenance on the stairs, so he can't even go up the stairs. It's like an entire flight missing or something, so he's just standing down there.
Let's see. Household balance sheet. Let's get this in here.
The
The
numbers
last
are
one I
looking Kind of funny, but not crazy. God, there's so much in here. Holy shit.
Yeah, don't worry. I got you, boo. I got you a chart.
I love charts.
Woof.
What happened to the Aladdin chart?
Oh, I've been changing it.
We need to.
I think
bring
the
that
last
back.
one was Mulan, where she was like going to the top. This was like right as we were getting really close to the .com peak. You know, she's gonna make it to the top. You remember where she takes like that metal that's really heavy, and she like wraps him around the pole, and she uses it to shimmy up the pole. It's like, oh, women are smart.
Oh, the ribbon and iron rings.
Yeah, because they had to wear those like heavy. Yeah, she uses them to her advantage. Yeah. I'm joking about how that I'm making fun of the fact that a bunch of men who wrote Mulan were like, how can we virtue signal to women? I actually think women are equals, so please don't shoot me later. Sometimes I forget these are being recorded and people are actually listening to them.
Don't worry, Jen is sitting here trying to think about whether or not she's mad at you.
Yeah, so it looks like oof. Nice. God dang, we're gonna crash.
What did the bones tell you? What did the tea leaves say? What's the card? Is it the power card?
There's so much to look at. So I'm looking at a bunch of things, none of which we can share with anyone. So
Nice.
the Aladdin chart, which is stocks plus real estate divided by bonds plus deposits, um, is sitting just under the peak from last quarter. Well, quarter three 2024 was 3.38, and this quarter it is 3.35. Well, last quarter four of 2024. So basically
Full
flat.
flag.
The
Full flag.
peaks for that, which is basically risk divided by high risk divided by low risk. Peak for that in .com was 3.53, and the peak for that in the 2008 crisis was like 3.48, 3.5. So we're like 0.1 below. We're like 10% below. So basically, we're
Oh,
leveraging our low risk for high risk by 3.3 5x, and 3.5 is about the max that you can really get to.
hmm.
In terms of, let's see, so remember when I was saying earlier that bonds typically hold like a flat percentage in a portfolio, so like the ratio of bonds to cash is sitting at about
Yeah.
0.6. And usually, I mean, over history, the average is about 0.6. It can get as high as 0.7 during actually it's kind of interesting. It actually goes down in periods of crisis. Yeah, because people will even get out of bonds and go to cash. Um, the yeah, the same thing kind of happened in '08, although people weren't highly leveraged. And it wasn't until after '08 that people got way into bonds, but that's been trending down ever since. So now we're at 0.6. So yeah, there might be a little spike here in coming up, but the thing is that if as the private market rolls over, the private economic growth rolls over, there's even less cash to buy all the debt.
Yeah.
So yeah. In terms of just stocks divided by bonds and cash, we're pretty much sitting at the height of the .com bubble. Same thing. So we're at the height of 2021 as well. So all of those things were kind of a high. Um, Interestingly, we're still nowhere near the high on housing. So real estate divided by bonds plus deposits during the financial crisis was up at like 2.1x, and right now we're sitting at 1.5x. The difference being that our leverage in stocks during that time was a lot lower. So like, I think I've said this before, but this is kind of like the Goldilocks bubble. So in 2000, everybody pumped into stocks, and there was a stock bubble. And then in 2008, everybody piled into housing, and there was a housing bubble. And now this time, I guess we've kind of learned our lessons sort of a little bit, and we've pumped equally into both. So we've diversified into both risk assets.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is the Goldilocks bubble where we have like the perfect amount. Well, we're still levered to the tits on stocks, but yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, so this actually looks a lot, if I had to pick, it looks a lot closer to .com than it does the housing bubble. But yeah, we've been, people keep saying like, oh, this, the AI revolution, this boom in this bull market, it started, it
The
started in
productivity boom, yeah.
end of 2023, like 2024, like these bubbles take a long time to form, so we've got at least another 3 years on it, right? So people think that like this is the beginning, but if you actually look at like the levering up process, it started in 2009.
Oh fuck yeah.
Pretty much like a year after the crash kind of settled out, everyone just started levering right back up, and it's just been a little straight up leverage ever since.
Well, it was a wealth transfer, right? And that's what you're kind of seeing is that wealth, like it's a wealth opportunity transfer that happened in 2008. Some people got wiped out. Some people scooped up the treasures.
Yeah, the key is that the leverage is the same, but the difference being that in .com, we levered up from 1995 to about 2000, right? So it was about 5 years. We're actually going from the same amount of leverage that we started from in 1995 to the same amount of leverage that we stopped at in .com, but we've done it over the course of 15 years. We just did it more slowly. So it doesn't feel like a bubble to a lot of people because it's happened so much more slowly. And so there's been a lot more volatility on the way up, but we still are as leveraged as we were at the height of .com.
I mean that kind of makes sense though, right? It almost correlates with the like the value of the dollar over that same time period and M2 growth.
Yeah, so there's some other interesting trends. So if you don't look at like the ratios, but you just look as like what is the amount of each one as a percent of total assets being held. So our deposits, our cash that we hold, is sitting right at about 10% of all of our assets, which that's actually been fairly constant, plus or minus a few percent since about 1994, 95. Before that, before we got into like, high equity valuation, sort of that long lull after the inflation crisis in the 70s, we were sitting up closer to like 15%, right? So somewhere between 15 to 10% of our assets are held in cash. And then if you look at what is going down over time, one notable thing that is going way down are pensions. So pensions since about 2015, pensions have started dropping off pretty noticeably and have been honestly not super replaced by clearly by anything, although if it was going to be anything, it'd be stocks. So I think that's just showing, the longer term trend of pensions being decayed and being replaced by 401ks to some degree.
I mean, everyone saw what happened to their pensions back in 2008. So, like, I mean, it's like if you've watched the other guys, Bob, and he goes and he tries to get the police department like robbed by David Ershon.
I actually
they just
haven't.
don't want to have
I
that
think I've
happen.
watched like half of one episode one night, and I was busy.
It's
and
not.
wasn't paying attention.
It's the movie with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell. I watched it the
Oh,
other
I
night
thought you
and
were
I was
talking
remembering
about
that.
that Dark Hero show.
No, this is just the two cops who end up stumbling into like $1 billion fraud scheme.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that movie. I did see it. But yeah, that was Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, right?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Um,
But yeah, they don't want any part of that sort of a thing because that's pretty much what happened in 2008.
yeah, small business, although it had a bit of a reprieve in the 70s, where it was up to almost 20% of assets, has declined from almost 25% after the war down to 8% now. Continued a long decline. Which is basically saying that the Federal Reserve hates you. They prefer large businesses and they make sure that they do everything they can to support large business at the expense of small business through monetary policy choices.
That's
Like
called
we
risk
said
management,
before,
JFresh.
like we said before, bonds is kind of flat. If anything, is a little elevated. It was actually, guess when it was at the lowest recently?
When?
Basically October 2022. So like the middle, like the bottom of the bear market, or the little bear blip, if we want to call it that.
The baby bear
But no,
blip.
it's up. It's basically flat at like 6% of portfolios. Interestingly, down at the bottom. So a long time ago, we'd have like 8% of our, or 9% of our wealth was in durables. Now it's only 4%. It's cool.
Well, I mean, do you think that's attributable to like the what is it, the deflationary effect on durables, or
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I mean, I feel like everybody owns a lot more durables than they used to, but who knows?
they're so much cheaper, right?
Um, yeah, so obviously the things that are high are stonks. So stonks are actually higher than they were in .com in terms of like total asset holdings. So at the height of 2000, it was 26%, and at the height of 2021, it was 29%, and we are currently at 29% now. Almost 30%. So I think this is an all-time high. Barely 29.5%. Yeah, all-time high. Leverage in the stocks was the last quarter of 2024. All-time.
Woo! Congratulations, we did
So
it.
from that metric, it is actually a bigger bubble than in .com. And actually at the bottom of the 2022 bear market, we were still at 23%.
JFresh fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah. Maybe that's why gold is gooning.
Because they got JFresh.
Yeah.
They got him. Well, I guess it's just me now.
Yeah, it's a bad omen to hang out in here.
I know, right? Am I
might
next?
Peace out. Yeah, for real. Kenny's coming, bro. It's Kenny's
I
big
know, right?
shot that
Hey, why are 8 vans
that-
pulling into my cul-de-sac? What's going on?
Yeah. Why are my sentry turrets engaged? Weird.
You have sentry turrets? Lucky.
No,
I've got an old lady
I
with a
want
shotgun.
them. Dude, I want those systems they have on the borders in Korea.
Oh
Have you
yeah.
seen those?
Yeah, you see what I'm gonna do is I have a bunch of like car airbags set up around my lawn and stuff. So if you like step on one, they just like explode into your foot and like break your leg.
Did you know booby traps are illegal?
I have a
looked
big
into
sign
them.
out front that says I have airbags in my front yard and you're gonna step on them and break your leg.
If you kill someone with a booby trap, it's homicide still, which is insane to me. Because if I have a
No,
booby
these are
trap
airbags.
on my property and or in my property, and it gets you because you're somewhere you're not supposed to be, Why is that my problem? I think that's
Oh, I
automated
think
self-defense. And
no, there's precedent for this, and I think if you sufficiently warn, I think it's okay. But don't quote me on that. I'm not a lawyer.
mm,
But I seem to remember a thing saying like if you have a big giant sign that says this property is super booby trapped, don't come in here, then that's on them at that point, right? Because
I don't know.
dude, it was because some dude I think accidentally killed like a neighbor or something with like a shotgun with a wire attached to his front door.
Sorry about that, guys. My internet dropped and then came back.
It's okay. We're just talking about booby traps and the legal standing of booby trapping your property.
Ooh, yeah, don't do that, right?
Yeah, you'll get
You have to like
checked.
you have to warn people.
Aha! There's
You
two for
can't
warning.
you can't just like plant landmines in your front yard without like a gate or anything at all. And then there's like some kid runs through your front yard and steps on a landmine, you get you are going to jail. It would
Yeah,
be
but
There's
like,
some neighbor's cat.
intentionally endangering the public with intent to harm.
That's why my claymores are only set up in front of my front door.
What you have to do is make sure that your claymores are set up behind your wooden fence
Yes.
with a sign that says "Keep out, please."
I just got an RPG pointed at the front door with like a wire, like a whole Rube Goldberg contraption.
this is the way.
Yeah. Anyway, what I was saying was people are levered AF.
Oh yeah. Oh, but this is the Z table, so it's as of like mid March, right? Or this is Q4.
But yeah, so it just came out in mid-March, but it is for Q4 24. It's delayed
So
by
as of Q4,
a
just
quarter.
okay, yeah. Cool. That's a
Obviously,
good detail.
the next ones are going to come out in June, and obviously that's probably going to show a dip in stocks just because we dipping.
Yep. Yeah, I
We're
wonder
doing a
if we
little
keep
dippy
on
do.
dipping.
Yeah, we're doing a little dippy do.
I wish Girk was here to appreciate what I'm about to say, but on the daily chart for SPX, it's like the most beautiful candlestick analysis you've ever seen. Like there's the shooting star doji for the local top, and then there was the rejection, and then there was the gravestone doji or whatever it's called, and then immediately followed by the continuation. It was just like yeah. That was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, one other
Right.
thing that's really interesting and why I think that we are in a quasi recession of sorts is that the long-term trend, I've pointed this out before, but the long-term trend of non-corporate business holdings by households, aka small businesses, peaked at the top of 2022 or at the bottom of 2022, like the market, and then has been declining ever since. So like while the stock market has been just ripping higher, actually households that own small businesses have lost about about $1 trillion in value, while
That
the
was
stock market,
before Gamma Strike, though. So
well,
It's
that's small
true.
businesses, yeah. Well, and in that time, the stock market, people who held stocks, that value has gone up by almost $20 trillion.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's time to play it from the soundboard again, guys. It needs to happen.
It's true. Go America.
we're doing
We're doing
it.
what we do. Make
Uh,
money into more money.
Also, got the updated numbers. What percent of people's personal disposable income uh, do you think that people are saving?
4%.
5%. It's always 5%. Always. It's like 4.8%. But yeah, ever since the late 80s, early 90s, 5%. No matter what, without fail.
Nice.
There's some blips here and there, minor blips. Like in 2021, it was 18%, which is
That's because we gave everyone money.
yeah, we gave everybody a shitload of money. Actually, in 2020 it was 12, and then 2021, which I believe was Biden, on top of what was originally given. So 2020 was 12.5%, and then 2021 was 18.6%. Then we proceeded to spend all of it, and now we're back to about 5.
What's up?
Nice. He's back. Holy
Is your
shit.
elevator broken?
No, I'll lock myself out of my apartment.
Cool.
Usual.
Nice.
You missed the entire rundown of the Fed Z table update.
Oh, goody. Did you go through all the data points?
Every single one.
Fantastic.
Everybody's still there?
I don't know if anyone's left. Let's find out. No, viewership's been staying pretty steady around like 170 to 200.
Bots.
Yeah, just
Yep.
the bots.
Wait, Girk, you just missed it. I talked about the candlestick analysis on SPX for
Oh,
this
you bitch.
little bounce. Yeah, the shooting star doji followed by the gravestone followed by the continuation was just chef's kiss.
Kind of hate you right now.
Dude, it was but I know, but like I there's no denying that just happened.
I know.
It's just cool. It's cool to see that play out like that because it usually never does.
It's usually pretty shitty. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Especially over the last couple of years. Where it's
yeah.
like,
No, you'd see that gravestone, and then you just get another
Doji
fucking wicked bounce.
gravestone, 3% up day.
Right. Yeah. I think that people are starting to wring their hands a little bit about for valuations of insanely overpriced companies.
No, really?
Oh no, I was seeing some chatter this morning about how Nvidia future EPS estimates are only like 20x earnings, which are cheap.
Oh my god.
You know what's
Yeah.
you know what we're starting to see a lot of is the dip buyers just getting cold. Which
Yeah.
is,
Yeah. They're
fucking
definitely
awesome.
feeling this last one. They're feeling it hard.
Yeah.
That was a mean rejection from the local top.
Yes, it was.
I guess
It
we
was
tested gamma neutral at one point.
Yeah.
That's like the nastiest rejection I've seen. I think on an SPX recovery. That's far worse than this like the recoveries in 2022. At least then we tested like monthly GN before failing. Like the bear rallies
things
were
kind of fell off.
the bear rallies were way stronger. This was, I mean, for a bear rally, this was weak as shit.
Yeah, it lasted like a week, if that.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying before, and why I thought obviously I was a little early by a few days, but I mean they had gotten vol. I mean, significantly sold down, but the price wasn't moving with it. And then over the last week, they did it even more, and they got it back to a vol that we were last trading at when the market was at like trading at 6,000, and we were at like 57.70. Yeah, so then like vol just mean reverted from that low value back to a 20-ish, and we just dropped.
So,
Yeah.
I'm
And
still
I
here.
finally got
Dork used
that-
the soundboard, so I stuck around. Hey, I'm not a bot. America, Bert Stew. Okay.
Oh yeah. Also, just for people who weren't hanging out on Friday, I got back. I did some trading. I found some time on Friday.
Yeah, we heard about your comeback.
Using my Gamma Strike, I made like $800
Yeah, I want to take some time to brag about Gamma Strike too. I over 5 days this week, I took a $250 account to just over $7,000 with a 82% win rate.
Yeah, but you do that all the time.
Yeah, I know. 82% is crazy. It was like almost 200 trades.
Yeah, I saw that. That was actually kind of nuts.
It wasn't like I just went like short ES at the top and rode it all the way down.
How'd you do that, Gorg?
Hmm?
How'd you
He's
do
not gonna.
that?
He can't
Magic?
tell.
Special magic.
We are not. We do not sell trading strategies. We sell data for
Yep.
you to develop your trading strategies with.
That's correct. We sell the tools. You build the house.
Yeah, Girk used a hammer.
I did. Repeatedly.
Every
The
problem
same
turned out to be a
hammer,
nail.
actually.
I used a chainsaw on Friday. I mean, I'm such a terrible trader. I can tell you what I did. I went long at the beginning of the day. $800 loss there. Then I saw everybody was piling into puts and essentially bought a put right after 10 o'clock. Rode that shit down. Made like $900.
I bought a shitload of
Gamma
55
Strike helped me
80s.
find my exit because I started to see vol get crushed on the downside and come up on the upside. So I was like, oh, it's gonna spike. It ended up spiking like what was it? It was like $10. It was not nothing. And
And it died.
then I saw like more bearishness was coming in, so I bought another put. And then almost didn't quite hit my target, but I saw that the IV was dropping on puts, and so I bailed before the next spike. Made another like $200 there, and then I think I tried to play a downside later in the day that I ate $100 on, but I was being lazy then. So as I netted out like 700. But yeah, I mean, Gamma Strike was really, it was actually kind of neat. I could just watch it to see like, hey, this is where the interest is, and then you just like, oh, the interest is shifting. Should bail. It's fun. I didn't set up any levels at all other than like, here's where everybody's buying and selling all these contracts. I'll just target that. And again, I am the worst trader in the world.
This
mean,
is actually proven.
It's probably pretty hard to not make money yesterday, but yeah, or on Friday, but yeah. I like to think.
I can't remember if I was like gooning with Nuke or Dork, but we were like one of us was like talking in TMs. I bought like a bunch of 55 80s, and then I forgot and left my house. But you know, that worked out not at all.
Oh, he closed at 55.80. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Nice.
You poor bastard. Anyway, yeah, Gamma Strike.
Yeah, it did.
Huh?
Also, I won the week.
Yeah, but
You did.
correctly predicted the trend.
Did you?
That's got to count for something.
I'm just looking at the chart right now.
Yes, I correctly predicted the trend would be down.
I'm sorry I accused him of stealing Gamma Strike petty cash. No, it was a real trade. JFresh made a real trade that made a profit. Listen to how proud of himself he is.
It was like, yeah, I'm very proud. It was like my bullshit Degen account too, so I like increased it by 18% in 1 hour. That was cool.
Nice.
So if I do nothing else with it, it would be like my best performing asset this year.
Nice.
No, it's also stuff with like, so like what I would like to do over time is like stuff it with responsible stuff and then like use that and leverage it into degen things. So it's full of things like gold and tea. There's some power stocks in there, you know, shit with some dividends. It's reasonably priced, and then like commodities and things. Oh, I have a bunch of fixie though. That's just been flat.
It'll get better if you have time on it. Yeah, you have shares, right?
It's just shares.
Yeah, it'll improve.
Yup.
Yeah, and then every time I make some money in there, I'd like put some of it into things that.
Does Fixie have a dividend or no? No, it doesn't.
No.
Right? It's just straight exchange.
Yeah. It's also really weird when you try to buy it, you get like a bunch of weird warnings about how risky it is, and it's like I had to do a double take. So I was like, "Is this riskier than I thought it was?" But no, it's just an ETF that follows the
It's not even
exchange rate.
leverage.
Just TJPY. No,
Ugh.
that's why I was like, I had to do a like triple check because it's like, why am I getting these warnings? What am I buying? Like, I thought I was just buying basically synthetic JPY, which I was, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's Invesco. It's like a JP Morgan fund.
Yeah, it's like super low risk.
I think it uses some swaps to probably to
Oh.
like pin the spot rate. So that might be why all the warnings, because its expense ratio is a little higher than you would expect.
Yeah, whatever.
That kind of might explain that. But yeah, I mean, if yen goes up, you make money.
Yeah, whatever. Just sitting in it, just for fun.
Once upon a time, it was like $90. So
Yeah, back in what? Oh, not
like
that far.
2020 or something like that.
Yeah.
If the carry like collapsed to like half leverage from where it is, like 4x instead of 8 or 9, it would probably move back up to like where it was in like 2017 to 2020.
Do we want to talk about Japan?
We could a little. Did you see the massive push in leverage this week and then it failed?
I didn't. I was just following like the rates over there. That's basically it.
No. I wanna build something with Dork to track the correlation between vol shorting and leverage in the carry because it looks like it's 1-to-1.
I mean, yeah. Do you want to see a flat line? I can make you a flat
Yeah,
line.
just make me a flat line to confirm my bias.
Yeah, except for then it might not be flat, which would be crazy.
Oh, nope.
Yeah, it's almost like volatility and the debt market are inexorably linked, or something like that.
Yeah.
Crazy. When
And
is the here's my question. When is the short end gonna fall so the market can blow up?
our short end.
Yeah. Like the 2 years at 3.9 and the 3 month is at 4.2.
Oh, I mean, I suppose when those positions blow up, I don't know. I don't think they'll blow up. They'll just get drained. I mean, I was talking about this a little bit earlier while you were waiting for the elevator to get fixed in your apartment complex.
Just locked out of my apartment. The elevator was fine.
Yeah.
No one tried to assassinate me.
That yeah, I mean, eventually, like the debt, I mean, we're printing debt faster than money's being created. So unless the Fed starts buying assets, eventually these rates have to rise. And
Yeah.
the equilibrium rate at which interest returns equals like debt issuance is like 6. Well, it's really like 6.5%. But right now, with the TGA running down, it's probably closer to 5. I don't think you're going to get that bump you're looking for while they're drawing down the TGA, which is why I was asking, when do they have to stop doing that shit?
Mm.
Because we're like 400 billion down on the TGA, which is all just.
I thought we passed
being
a
used to-
resolution for them to like issue more debt.
So I think what it is we passed a resolution. We passed a like a and a what's the word? It's not a budget, but it's like a spending bill,
Uh-huh.
whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But I don't think
extension.
I don't think that they've passed a raise to the debt ceiling, which we've hit. Because remember, they passed like that moratorium, and the moratorium ended, and so now we like can't. So he can't spend, or he can't raise new debt until that limit is lifted because we've hit it. Surprise! Turns out when you budget for 2 trillion deficits, your debt goes up.
Damn, correlation broke down hard as fuck on Friday. Huh. Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna risk sounding like the boy who cried wolf, but I think, well, okay, I'm gonna take that back. Part of me, okay, the cynic, the dead carcass of what was left of a innocent human being inside of me, thinks that this probably is all gonna come crashing down. But the cynic in me knows that Trump's a little bitch and he's gonna pull back all the tariffs on April 2nd. We're gonna rip.
Yeah.
Because
Did
I
you
feel like
hear the
the
like
most
soundbite of him like he was talking to some like CEO of this business and it got recorded. And he was
no.
just like, you can't raise fucking prices.
Okay.
These
Yeah.
tariffs are gonna happen, but you can't raise prices. Hold on, I'll try to find a
Okay.
link for it.
Sure. That sounds like a thing that people can just do.
It's realistic, yeah, that's for sure.
Everybody take a loss except for the federal government. I get it.
Yeah, so it was the Wall Street Journal. A private call with CEOs of the nation's leading auto companies this month. The president warned them against hiking prices after his tariffs hit. The White House will look unfavorably on them if they do, he darkly
Oh, no.
intimated, leaving them worried about retribution.
Oh my
Jesus
god.
Christ. I mean, if someone's trying to manipulate you like that, they're gonna do what they will regardless. Like you can't like trying to win favor with narcissists is a losing battle.
Yeah, I learned that from Girk.
Wow.
Sorry, I had to. I couldn't help it. He set it up. All right.
Anyway, that's awkward. Airing our family laundry out in public
I mean, okay, so
in front of tens of people.
I know, right? Many tens of individuals. Jay Fresh, I think that Trump doesn't back down.
I mean,
I think he's
part of
waiting for concessions. He needs them.
Yeah, I think that's the only
He'll
way
take
he
any
can
deal.
walk away with a win.
Yeah,
Like,
he'll
he's
take any
gotta-
deal that comes across his desk. But
He's got to be like, he's got to do the silent thing. You know, when you're at like the auto dealership, and you're like, you know, I want like $1,000 off this car, and they like go to their manager and they'll like give you like 500, and you just say nothing to them until they agree to give you 1,000 off. That's what he's doing right now. Like just
tried
basic used car salesman bullshit.
Hmm.
Have you
yeah, I'm
guys
still trying to figure out if invading Greenland is bullish or not.
have you guys ever read Art of the Deal?
I don't know.
This is why
I don't read.
The hell is it? Is there anything in there worth reading?
No.
I mean, I don't need a book to tell me that Trump's an idiot.
I mean, well, it is a great explainer of all of Trump's awful childlike behavior.
So I read that one book, A Warning by Anonymous, and then I read Triggered by Donald Trump Jr. They were both terrible.
I mean, you know, Donald Trump Jr. didn't even write that book.
Dude, it literally sounded like what's his face?
Odd.
God, that one.
Is Donald Trump Jr. even literate? Do we know?
No, he got that one debater. You know, the one Jewish dude who like debates and he's super Republican and he talks really fast.
Oh, the like
Yeah.
Jewish guy who doesn't like other Jews.
Yeah, little shrewd guy who like you always get that little face.
Wasn't he just famous because like his sister was like mediocre?
No, well, yeah, and also in debates he would get like these hyped videos, which like absolutely tears down this thing.
He has very
Ben Shapiro. Thank you.
Ben Shapiro, yeah. He has very specific debate tactics that are
bullying.
If he can only win debates against like the average unprepared like college student. His tactics are pretty straightforward in terms of debating strategy, and they're plenty of ways to easily go around it. So he only punches down. He has to find like the safest group of people that is willing to engage him, that he can just like shout down at with his little tricks.
Angry
Mm.
liberals.
He creates all these like these hypotheticals that are just so absurd that the premise just destroys actually anything that he's saying. But he says it in a way where like you don't have enough time to realize like, oh, the premise is absurd, and so it's like sounds like a dunk. Anyway,
Yeah.
he's another
Yeah.
dumb person's idea of a smart person.
I went down a
We
rabbit
have a lot of
hole
those.
like on Wednesday last week at 3 a.m. of just watching like the farthest right conspiracy theorists debate the farthest left conspiracy theorists.
Where
And
can
it
I find
was
this video?
Some of I'll get you a link. And it
Thank
was
you.
some
I
of the
need to see
most
this.
entertaining like
I
television.
would love to see them debate like things like vaccines. That would be fun.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's so great. Like, they started talking about vaccines, and both people were like, "Those are evil."
Oh god. Well, hey, we're finding common ground wherever we can. We'll take the positives as they come.
Good lord.
I found out that they're shit. Hold on.
So, Jfresh, I just want to say that the cynic in you is wrong. I think we continue downward, and my biggest argument is that I have a SPY 550 put expiring in April.
So up we go.
I have to. So it's gonna go up, and then I'm gonna sell it for a loss, and then we're gonna crash.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So the market's just waiting for me to sell this
thing I want to
put.
ask Kirk about, because I have no idea, and if anybody in the chat wants to pipe up if they know anything, which we'll see. But what is going on with the GDP estimates and gold? Like, why is there so much gold flooding into our country that it's fucking up our GDP estimates? What is going on there?
They're trying to get it back into Fort Knox before Elon's able to crack the safe.
What are the missing gold that's already just
No,
there?
like,
Or at the Federal Reserve?
why? My question was, why are we importing enough gold to fuck up everybody's GDP estimates?
Are we?
Yeah, go to Atlanta GDP now. They have like a gold adjusted GDP estimate now.
When did that happen?
When they started predicting that GDP would be negative 2%.
Oh,
because
shit.
of all the gold coming in.
Maybe we're
What
just
is
buying.
all this gold? Who is doing this? Why? What is happening?
Well, they have a
This is
description
insane
right.
to me.
No, here I got Jfresh. I'm putting a link in the chat. There you go. That's
I
why.
can't read.
Okay, well,
I
they
would
have
im-
math in there though. It's
I would
math.
imagine that banks and dealers and people are just buying shitloads of physical gold and they're moving it around
But why?
because our economy's fucked and everybody, like, 10% of our population is like gold bug survivalists.
You think it? So you really think it is just a bunch of individuals buying so much gold that it's fucking up our GDP?
No, not just
That's so much
individuals,
money.
banks.
And Costco.
Yeah, and Costco.
For sure. They have a 10-ounce silver bar that they were advertising today when we went this morning.
Did you buy it?
Wait, could you buy it in store? Or did it have to be online?
Yeah, it was in
only?
store. $3.59. I don't know what
So
silver's
spot
at.
price.
Yeah, but spot price less premium for physical is not bad.
Also, 4% cashback.
Fuck yeah, deals. Yeah, 34.38 for spot.
Maybe that's where the banks are buying their gold from. Is Costco
Yeah,
for the
you
4% rebate?
you buy it on credit, you get 4% off. That's a fucking that's a year of shitty returns right there.
Yeah, I mean that's almost $20 less than like jam bullion.
Fucking roll your balance over to like some 18-month zero interest card.
That's better than the 2 year.
It's a member-only item and it's out of stock.
Boo.
Yeah, you live in Texas. Good luck.
It's
That's
called
true.
it's called 10-ounce silver bar PAMP in all capitals.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Made
go.
of
I'm gonna
Liberty.
go just talk to some of the guys I grew up with and see if they just want to mug people in the Costco parking lot in Brooklyn.
What is the
Just be
PAMP?
like
Is it
these
literally PAMP?
people.
It's like
People are just leaving Costco's with fucking gold bars. Like the number of robberies in Costco parking lots is about to skyrocket.
literally called PAMP. It is. It's I guess it's French. I don't know.
Yeah, it's $400 online. That's a deal.
Sign in to see the price.
What was spot silver on Friday?
34.38,
Oh, okay.
I think.
Swiss made gold bar PAMP. 31.39. That's quite a premium.
Wait, if the Swiss are selling all their silver, how are they gonna bail out UBS and
They're selling their gold too.
pay the GME holders? Sorry.
I want to buy some platinum.
Platinum sucks. I've had it for like
Why?
8 years and it's the same fucking price. Platinum is trash.
Platinum is so useful though.
Not as an investment.
Well, it's
You
like
see,
one of
I've been averaging
one of the
down on
best,
uranium 238.
it's
That's what I'm
like
holding on
Okay.
to.
Adjustments for
catalysts.
gold imports and exports in standard GDP model now as an alternative model beginning March 6, 2025. Existing measures of good imports and exports in FRED are further adjusted by subtracting gold imports and exports from the balance of payments. Based measures of international trade available from the Bureau of Economic Analysis. Blah, blah, blah. After subtracting gold imports and exports from the IDS 0182 BOP measures of good exports and imports, GDP now generally works the same way as standard pre-existing GDP now model. The one exception to this is for updates after the Advanced Economic Indicators report, which includes some aggregate data on goods, imports, and exports, and is released near the end of the month. Bum, 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 bum. Okay.
Hold on, let me check.
So the adjustment for gold is negative. So our like balance of trade on gold is negative.
So we're getting the gold out of Fort Knox so that we can accuse Fort Knox.
That's
of
what's happening.
theft.
Yeah, Trump's selling all of the gold in Fort Knox to a different country, so then he can be like, "Look, Biden stole the gold."
Putin, Putin,
No, yeah, whatever.
Putin,
Yeah, Putin.
Russia, Iran.
You okay, man? Sounds like you came down with something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just this whole China. I'm sorry.
Is that a case of communism I hear?
It might be.
Are you saying China's buying all the gold?
China, Russia, and Iran. No, sorry, Saudi Arabia, aka Iran.
Is it racist to say Indians love gold?
No, that's
No.
a fact.
That's actually
Because
really,
every
yeah.
Indian student I've ever worked with has told me independently that Indians love gold.
They love buying gold.
Yeah, they buy shitloads of it.
Like they tell me that, and then they kind of chuckle. So
What's the rupee
I think
been doing
it's-
lately? That's what I want
I
to
think
know.
it's real.
It's not a real currency.
Let's see what the rupee's been doing. Ooh, it might be time to buy it. Let me see. Getting pretty close.
It's 0.012 to the dollar.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's turning around.
I'm looking at the inverse. I'm looking at the inverse because I'm thinking, if we're long, yeah. The thing is, I think I missed the confirmation, so I don't know.
Pre-financial crisis, it was like 0.25 to the dollar. So
Yeah.
It's been just straight down ever since.
For now.
You
I'm
know,
not too much of a bricks boy, but I mean,
I think we open our Indian branch of Gamma Strike for the Nifty 50, and we'll just send you over there.
oh dude, we'll get fucking rich off that.
We'll sell the subscription for like 35 cents a month.
Can we call it
Uh,
Gamma
Do you know how many
Seek?
people?
Or is
Do you know how many people in
that might
India
actually be
day trade the
racist.
Nifty 50?
A ton of people day trade the Nifty 50, dude.
It's got so much volume, and it's
Dude, no,
all
like
retail.
There's dude, like in the middle of the night one night when I was like I had insomnia or something, I popped open YouTube and saw like a bunch of live YouTube streams for Nifty 50 traders, and there's these Indian dudes just fucking going to town on it. Like it's huge.
Yeah, it is.
It's their SPX, dude.
Completely untapped options market.
Yep, we just got to figure out the exchanges and how to get that data, and we're good.
Yep. I like it. I'm down. Let's go.
Cool. Well, sweet. We're gonna have to get the long rupee position started too.
No.
I'm pretty sure we'll have to pay for the Nifty 50 data in rupees.
We can just pay the conversion fee.
That's true, we can, but why not arb that away?
I already don't want to do this now.
Let me see. IN10Y. I want to see what the 10-year yield is in India right now. Ooh, 6.7. Okay. And declining. I think you're right, Girk. I think I wait.
Yeah. maybe like
yeah,
maybe
this doesn't
like
look great.
let's talk about it again in 2035.
I think you're about right.
All right, cool.
Actually, I don't know. I mean, okay. So if the Indian 10-year goes down to like 5.5%, I don't know. I have to think about this some more.
The Brazilian 10-year is at 15%.
I'm sure it is. It's Brazil. The thing is with Brazil is they're actually like pricing in risk because it's Brazil.
Yeah. But also 15%.
So the thing is with Brazil though is like, I mean, with India, right, you have this massive pool of, moderately skilled labor that's going to be used for outsourcing over time. That's my big kicker with it. That's why I like the rupee.
Won't those people just emigrate?
Either that or they'll just stop working and demand more money.
Yeah, and then we gotta find a new country.
Or we end up just paying them more and the rupee skyrockets.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. See, there was a thought to it. It wasn't just fucking bricks and Peter Schiff as my spirit animal. There was some thought to it.
Do you know that the Brazilian 10-year was at 10%? Not even just a little over a year ago.
That's so volatile, dude.
I know. I think we should buy some Brazilian bonds. Let's do it.
Oh my god.
Think of the
Still
gains.
long bonds. You think the yields are going to go down?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, he's gone. Time for the soundboard. Let's see what we got.
Shit, let's do it.
Ooh, here we go.
Oh, the tears of unfathomable sadness. Yummy.
Where's Girk?
I forgot to tell you that my girlfriend and I were watching Always Sunny, and that episode came on with the boat. The implication.
Are you gonna hurt these women?
We say it all the time now because of the implication. The market's not going to go down more, because of the implication.
Yeah.
We sure? I
All
think
right.
we dropped more on Monday.
Oh, Kirk's back.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Yeah, what about
You can
collar
draw my
roll though?
balls.
Yeah,
Because I knew those fuckers were holding it till close. Because
Collar roll these
they roll the
nuts.
collar
Yeah.
on Monday.
Yep.
That's the day it gets rolled.
Yeah, who cares?
Well, if we
Well,
go
they roll
below
it
it, if we
down.
go below it, right into open, I think we're actually already below it in the overnight because ES sold off ES sold off in the overnight session.
Yeah.
So we're already like down another 40 points from close, 39 points. So SPX right now at like 55.60. So I say
So
we
Jeppy
just
to 30?
fucking I think we dump and then they roll the fucking collar and all those puts come off while they're in the money. We bounce like crazy.
Yeah, but those puts have almost no unhedged delta left or change in delta, right? I think the net, I mean, maybe short term we pop because, people are also expecting it. So they kind of create
Yeah.
the reality that they expect to see. But in the long term, it is not bullish, right? I mean, it's a new bearish saddle that we're sticking on the market.
Yeah, but in the short term, pulling off if those puts are at like 0.7 delta and they pull them back, the MM's gonna just buy.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I think
But they are also, well, are they just do they just let the calls expire?
no, they roll everything. So at some point in the middle of the day tomorrow,
So they're also,
that
they're
shit's
also
getting
buying a
closed.
bunch of calls.
Well, they're gonna sell a bunch of calls.
No, well, they have to buy the calls to sell the new ones, right?
Yeah, they're gonna buy to close, but those are at like 6,000.
Oh, so those aren't doing anything.
Yeah, those aren't doing shit. But the puts will have right now they have delta. I think the top the top of the collar is at 50 or 61.65. So
What are the new positions you're going for?
Well, I mean, if we're 5% from Friday's close, somewhere around like sold calls in the 5,800s, sold or bought puts in the 5,200s. And then
Sounds like we're going to 5,800.
And then the sold puts fucking just way down around like 48 or something.
They're nice.
I guess the sold puts will be at like 5, like right around 5,000.
Does this mean Jeppy to 30?
Yeah, I mean it could.
That would be cool.
Usually the collar roll coming in when indexes are already down is really bad.
I'd like Jeppy to 30. I'd like it a lot, actually.
Oh, big oof on put leverage.
Fuck yeah. No, yeah, we basically slipped the fucking little peak we had gotten put together. Had gotten cobbled together over the past week.
Yeah, they are not selling. It doesn't seem like they're really selling another like strong batch of more puts.
Yeah,
they might be holding on for dear fucking life. Like there's no peak, there's no saddle anymore. It's just like from here, just straight down.
Did you notice that there's like a little bit of an out of the money bump in put delta? Like if you look at like 0.959, moneyness. There's like a that wasn't there the prior day. Hold on.
Oh, on Delta?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do see
Yeah,
it.
look at the bump in like out of the money put delta from the
Ooh,
prior
that's
day.
fun.
That's a
We're
lot.
gonna have to start.
That's like vol expansion right there.
That was
That's actually crazy. That's huge vol expansion on the puts.
Yeah.
Like the contract value change right there tells the story, right?
5% out of the money, that's a day over day change of almost $1 trillion.
Holy cow, you're right.
Yep. Yeah, so I'm gonna
Well, if
call
we go down
market
5%
crash.
on Monday.
I'm gonna call market crash for this week.
Dang it!
God damn
Off
it.
by 1 week. 1 effing week.
You're
If
too-
these tariffs go through, it might happen.
Yeah, I think so.
I think the
we'll-
tariffs do go through unless Europe totally backs them. But the thing is Europe is also talking about like boots on the ground in Ukraine, which is
Dude,
nuts.
Germany's remilitarizing, and no one's saying anything, and I want to. Isn't that a
Europe
violation
is, dude.
of the like post World War II treaties?
Nobody reads anymore. No one even knows what that is.
Yeah.
Jeez.
What I
I'm just
wonder,
looking
what
at
I wonder,
macro,
well,
and
what
this
I'm
is
curious
rough.
about
Yeah.
is like Germany was allowed to rearm a little bit for NATO, right? But is Germany still the same country after the West German East German reunification, or are they no longer held to the post World War II agreements?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know anything about it because I cannot read. Nvidia and Tesla are still pretty bullish. Gold is insanely bullish. Meta's meh.
Because
Apple's meh.
every time there's like an economic problem, and Germany's always like, "Hey, time to build up our army," and then we all know what happens after that.
Eh,
Yeah, this time it's gonna be different. All right,
yeah, this time it's different.
they just they get antsy. Is all I'm saying.
This is gonna be a fun year.
Depending on who you are and who you work for.
Depending on if you have Gamma Strike or not.
That was only twice.
I could not imagine going into this year and navigating markets without Gamma Strike.
I'd lose more money than I already have. So, I mean, that says something.
Well, we're not paying you to trade, boy. Get back to coding.
Turk is
That's
gonna
exactly
lose
what
his
I'm doing.
job.
How many hours did you code yesterday? It was like 17.
Don't talk about that.
Yeah, why
it
don't you
was
take a break?
about 50.
What's the temperature outside? Do you even know? When's the last time you went outside?
No, I just closed my window. 'cause
Is
it's
it
too
daytime?
bright.
It was too bright.
Yeah, it's 59.
That's pretty
Did you
warm.
also hiss at the window when it burned you?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
As one
I had to put my
does.
sunglasses on. But we need this shit to be ready for tomorrow. Otherwise, that bender was for nothing.
I know it, dude. I'm so excited though.
It's
If
48
this is
degrees
dialed
here,
in
Nick.
for Market Crash Monday, and we get to see what it looks like, I would be so happy.
Ooh, top stories. Trump very angry with Putin over ceasefire negotiations.
Yeah, I heard this morning he was like, we should charge 25% tariffs on Russian oil until they come up with an agreement.
Here's my
Fuck,
problem.
dude.
Okay, like the whole right is using this as like some argument that like Trump's not in Putin's pocket. But he's also pushing the EU to remove all the other financial sanctions from Russia.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna wait and see what he actually does because he talks a lot. Let's just see what he actually does. How
Hey,
about
Girk, you want to see something cool?
What?
I'm taking a screenshot of your stream. Okay, and it's gonna seem weird. Okay, but I think it means we've nailed our color choice. So check out this screenshot.
All right.
Do you notice something?
It's beautiful.
We have nailed the gray that is used on the sidebar.
Yeah, killing it actually.
That's amazing.
That's because I picked the most common Google gray for our sidebar.
Nice.
Yeah. It's actually an amalgamation of two grays that's used on like every single React website. And then I made them one shade in between the two.
Well, you and Google have nailed it with
that's
with the
more
gray.
work put into choosing a gray than I think I've ever heard in my entire life.
Wow. It's like you don't want our product to be perfect or something.
I would like it to be perfect, but I'm too busy working on all of Dork's imperfections to worry about the front end gray colors.
I want a meme of just
Hey,
like a tiny
speaking
leprechaun riding on the back of Dork with a whip.
Speaking of being able to watch market crashes, wouldn't it be really great if we had data that went back to the 2020 crash as everybody prepares for the next one?
Oh, is
That'd
this
be
how
great,
we're
wouldn't
going
it?
to call out Dork on not backfilling today? Dork,
Okay.
how could you do this to us? We're
I
going to have
already
a whole nother
explained what needs to
crash
happen.
in the books before we have the data from the last one.
Yeah, and then
Or
you
he
guys
was
will
like,
stop bothering me because we have enough data.
Or he was like, here's all the other things that have to happen before you can see it on the website. And I was like, Dork, don't you understand that once you put the data in the database, then all those problems become somebody else's problems, which means I get off your back and I start writing other people.
That was probably the most convincing argument he's given me this whole time.
Yeah. He was like, we don't have the views for it if I go back that far. I was like, well, that's not your problem. If there's data in the database that we can't see on the website because some views are wrong, then guess where I'm going to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna try running some data today and see what happens. It's just it really comes down to making sure we can fully track the quality of the data that's coming in and make sure we're actually getting good stuff. So that's all.
So we don't need to air dirty laundry, but this is a lesson for everybody who finds themselves having to actually build something in today's economy. The sooner you get it wrong, the sooner you get it right. Trying to make it right before you launch or before you go all in and give it your best shot usually ends up meaning it will take a lot longer for you to get it right overall because you think that you can predict all of the things that are going to go wrong and prepare for them. But no matter how much time you spend predicting, you will always run into issues that you could have never imagined. And the sooner you find them, the sooner you will fix them. And yes, it is more work, but it still ends up happening faster. The sooner
And
you get it wrong,
I totally understand that, Jay Fresh, but these were some structural things. It's out of an abundance of caution to make sure that like we don't end up like deep in some shit when we do this. That's all. And it's ready now. It took a little bit, like a few extra pieces getting put in. They're put in now, so
Oh,
we'll do it.
shit. Wait. Dork.
what's up?
What?
Win V2.
Okay, so yeah, fun update on V2. Friday was the first day we got V2 to run without any warnings.
Oh, fuck.
Nothing fatal had been happening for the past few weeks, so it was, it just came down to getting all those warnings figured out. I got the last little bit of data verification in there, so we're putting it through its paces for probably another week, and we are going to be rolling it over to the next environment shortly thereafter. I'm going to try to get this thing in as fast as I possibly can because I want you guys to have the better data because it is better.
I think
So
we're
there
going
you
to
go.
go down another 5%.
That'd be cool. I'll take if we go
Yeah, I
down
mean-
5%, then like yeah, everything's fucked.
Everything
Right?
I'm seeing says more down.
Did you see
but
the Delta and
obviously-
SPY? Like put call and QQQ?
No.
It's gross.
Oh, on macro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like 90 days out. Like a lot of
Yeah,
it.
they're really negative, which means it's a great opportunity to bounce and force close those positions.
Yeah, cover bid, baby. Let's go.
Damn it. I hate
I don't even know what cover bid is.
I hate the yeah, I fucking hate the bid to cover dynamic. I just want the market to dump. I don't want it to bounce 7% and then dump 8%.
I just want everyone to just diamond hand their puts forever.
Yeah, that's what I
The only
want to
way to
buy
get
a
the
put
market to go
and then
straight
just
down-
sit on it.
The
So,
only way
so
to get the
Girk,
market to go straight down is to ban short selling.
So Girk, I read
Yeah.
a paper recently that was like it was a book that was about just call and put positioning, and they broke it down mathematically why it makes sense to never sell your calls, but to almost always sell your puts.
Yeah. Well, not
So-
never sell your calls, but usually not sell your calls. But yeah,
almost
yeah, you should-
never sell your calls.
Yeah, I mean you should almost always close puts when they're up.
Yep. So fuck
That's-
you.
that's
And
literally-
mathematically, it's a certainty.
Yeah, everyone wants to take
there's-
profit. Which is a very important legal aspect. Please enlighten us, Popcorn. It's illegal to close.
Yeah, I'm not well versed in Djibouti law.
Djibouti.
German restrictions on rearmament ended in 1990. Okay, that's what I was wondering. Interesting.
I told you none of us know any of this history because we're all illiterate.
Well, it's not American history.
Well, I just didn't know if the
Literally is
reunification of
American
Germany.
history.
Well, the reunification of Germany is not that. Well, I guess
You
it's
see-
also the end of the Cold War, so a little bit.
My rebuttal to you, Jay Fresh, is that's my rebuttal.
Measured and fair.
Good. I'm
Yeah,
glad
I was
we
wondering if the
unilaterally agree.
reunification kind of got rid of those prior agreements, which it appears it has, given that Germany's raising like 500 billion to remilitarize.
I
They've
don't
been
know.
asked to
Interesting
march
times.
across Poland. Oh, Jesus Christ! This is you can't write this kind
awful.
of fiction. What if we're just doomed to repeat the same fucking 80-year timeline over and over and over again until humanity dies off?
I mean, have you seen human history? That's pretty much what we're doing.
Yeah, I know.
What we've done.
Cycles are just speeding up a bit, right? Because we have technology now to speed up the rise and fall of nations.
Because we have CNIS one-day settlements.
Yes.
Not for
Yes, the
market
downfall
makers.
started with Cenis.
CNIS.
We love sequels too much now to change anything. Fuck.
What?
Hmm?
Beagles?
No, Ivan said we love sequels too much now to change anything.
What does that mean?
People just
Yeah, this is like the downfall, but it's like the remake of the like it's the live action of the animated downfall.
It's like the fall of the Roman Empire, but also like the remake of the fall of the Holy Roman Empire.
Mm. Mm.
Here's what I propose for continued economic strength. The Northeast Corridor, like Maryland up, maybe out to Ohio, just separates into its own country. And then we see how the rest of the states get along. Oh, and then the West Coast too. Like California, Oregon, Washington. their own country, and then just let the rest of them figure it out. They'll have enough money, right?
Yeah.
Guys? Guys? You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. They won't
Yeah.
starve to
Yeah,
death.
they're fine.
Okay.
We'll be fine.
Yeah. You can always sneak over the mountains, Dork.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I could
And-
just drive over them.
And JFresh could try to sneak into Mexico.
Yeah, you could.
Maybe you'd be
I'm-
appreciated at one of their universities.
Yeah,
What
maybe they'll
does that
say
mean?
thank you.
I'm gonna say thank you once. I'm gonna say that like the last day of my class.
Have you even said thank you one time to the one person like you answer their question?
When they all come and ask me if there's anything they can do to raise their grade at the end of the semester after finals have been graded.
What
I
about
have no
Florida?
cards. You don't have any cards.
We could see
Oh
if
my God,
Spain
you know
wants it
what?
back or give it to Cuba.
I might actually print that out and put it on my door for the end of the semester. Just a meme of those guys sitting there, and then Zelensky asking for extra credit at the end of the semester, and then me saying, "Did you even say thank you one time?"
It's even harsher because they're coming in because they're failing. You imagine walking up with like a D, like so close to a C, and seeing that on the door. That would just be a kick in the balls, dude.
God, watching put leverage evolve over the week is disturbing.
It's fun.
Did you guys look at that shit? It's just like look at the 25th on Tuesday. Right? And then look at the 26th.
Yeah, dude. At the money leverage fell off a cliff.
Yeah, and then 27.
Yeah.
And then Friday.
Yep. It's not looking great for the Vol Bears.
Darcy ended up being a refugee to California. This feels like a South Park episode where they get the homeless people to migrate to California.
Whoa. Okay, I wouldn't be. I got some hookups there. I can live on a couch for a little bit. All right, I wouldn't be a refugee. I'd be a transient.
Hold on. Dork is a landowner via a bank. So, in whatever government forms between California and Maryland, he will be one of the landed gentry.
Damn right. I'm gonna sell this thing to the next moron who will pay me more for it.
Then he'll be
So
a
I'm gonna
refugee
fucking
to
do.
California.
Yes. Speaking of which, I want to see what my home values are being touted as being worth. Let me find out.
Have you not looked up your house on Zillow this week?
I haven't. It's been a full like 36 hours. So
The house
Check
I
my
sold
home.
has gone down $150,000 since I sold it.
Nice.
dude, you nailed the top.
Can't believe you shorted housing.
I know.
Oh, my house price has gone up.
Fuck. I mean, you live in the most desirable state in the country, so.
True.
No, Texas will break off from the rest of those and form its own country because they've always wanted to do that.
Let's see. Oh no, in the last 30 days it's down 1.8%. What am I gonna do? Dude, I'm fucked.
Wait, hold on. Are you paying an extra 12 like 8.9% towards your principal every month?
No, it's like $100.
No. I mean,
I guess of the total payment.
You're cutting your mortgage down by actually like 4 years over the next 30. So
I know, that's why I do it. Because then I'll only be like an old fucker when I'm debt free and not like a about to die fucker.
I don't know. You're still very draftable.
No, I'm not. I tore my ACL twice, dude.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wait, can you walk?
No.
Alright,
Because you asked me if I can walk.
perfect. Wait,
Yeah.
J-Fresh just left.
His internet cut out once, so I assume it cut out again.
Okay. Alright, give me
Yeah.
give me 1 second, I'll be right back. And then we can go over like the predictions for the week.
All right. Well, oh, there he is.
Sorry, my internet cut out again. My Wi-Fi's
Figured.
been weird.
It's all good. Does anybody have any Gamma Strike complaints? No? All right.
We're not taking those at the moment.
That's true. Well, you're not taking them, but I'm lodging them, and then you are putting them in the backlog, and then maybe one day you'll
Scrumming
do
all
them.
over it.
Oh yeah, we will have scrums and meetings and pre-meeting planning meetings about any complaints. You know, especially colors. When it comes to picking colors, we like to argue for hours about colors. So, I mean, Nuke just sits there and listens to us argue and then wonders if we're ever actually going to accomplish anything with the meeting, which we don't.
Popcorn said he wants historical data. I don't know what that means, but
You know, I agree with him. I would like that too. But don't worry, I could click a button right now and attempt to put some in there. Should we do it? I don't know, put some historical data in there? I guess not. Yeah, who cares about that? It's going to be like 15 days of data. We'll see if it even works. I will take that. I have a 550 put, Kirk. Did you account for that? On SPY? We're going to 57.20. I'm going to sell the put at a huge loss, and then we're going to crash. Well, hurry up and predict my psychology for when that put's going to get sold, and that's when you time the crash. Ooh. Ooh. Listen to you.
Look at you, Mr. Bear.
I know, he's so bearish. It's kind of getting me hot and bothered.
You're always hot and bothered.
I don't think you're sharing the chart, Girk. I don't think so.
Or on the stream
You're not.
talking.
Yeah, what the fuck are you? What the hell's going on?
I was just talking to you guys on the Discord.
Nice.
Alright.
Wait, they couldn't hear us the whole time?
No. Oh no, they can hear you. They just couldn't hear me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright. Who's next? Dork came second closest.
So that means that I'm next?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, wait, hold on. I got to look at the economic calendar. It definitely didn't do that. Is there any data coming out? You got to tell me now. Auctions. Nothing. Who gives a shit about that? No one cares about that. ISM. Okay. Jolts. Tuesday. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to open flat. Okay. And then by close on Monday, we will be at 56.50.
Okay.
And then
you're just stealing mine.
No.
right.
This is gonna be totally different. Okay.
All right.
So close at 56.50. Okay. And then, hold on. After that, we're gonna be perfectly. Or no. Okay, it's a 6 a.m. Shit. Okay. So then we're gonna gap up to 57.50 to open Tuesday,
Okay. Hold on.
and then we are going to close on Friday at 54.75.
So I forgot which day was Liberation Day for a second. I need to move something. Alright, I'll go like that. No, that's too steep. I need like another point to move. Oh, here we go. I can move this one. There we go.
People are hating Dork because he's speaking the truth.
Alright, JFresh,
What did you say you want the week to close at?
51.20.
Oh God.
Yep, I hogged up all the downside. 51.15, sorry. Right? Yeah, I guess should be 51.20.
Hmm.
Ooh, that's right. Have we considered that Trump might pull back all the tariffs and say April Fools on April 1st? That might actually crash the market.
I think we're gonna close the week at 5,700.
That's it. Just like that.
Yeah.
You're gonna steal my DD.
What did you say it was gonna close at?
I think I said 57.75. Gert closed the chart because he's got to go yell at a cat or a person or a bird or a VWAS.
Oh, I thought you said 55.70. What did I think you said?
Alright, what was the rest of
Okay.
it?
Hold on.
I said
If you-
54. Yeah. JFresh, finish your prediction. I didn't see the chart. I don't remember where I said because I'm an idiot. Yeah, 54.75.
Yeah, I said 5,700.
Oh, I thought. Okay.
Okay.
I got
so
a listening problem.
just close the week at 5,700?
Yeah,
Okay. Nuke still straight to zero?
most likely.
Alright.
All right, hold on, let me get the screenshot for the dot plot.
Oh, wait, hold on. I gotta move mine to. There we go.
I gotta move the goalposts. Yeah, I got you. Okay. And you're gonna edit after I'm done, right? To make sure that.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Perfect.
Secretly.
Right now you got one more revision, right? Oh wait, I gotta post it, and then you're gonna have your revision, right? Okay. Here, let's do this.
Did you post it?
Okay. Plot. All right. Now I posted it. All right. Make your revision. All right.
Okay.
Now that it's posted, I don't see how we. I mean, we have to get a new lower low on this.
There we go.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. Now let me post this one.
No.
All right.
What about Bulgurg? He died like a few months ago.
You son of a bitch.
He died right at the top. He died Wednesday, February 19th at 61:45 on the SPX.
It was the night that I wrote, well, guys, what if we're crashing, but it's a slow shitty crash? That was the night he died.
Yeah, Kenny's in the pickle jar. It's official.
When Bulgurg back? SPX 3200.
$3,200. Man, you're so bullish.
I know. 28?
It's closer. I was thinking 3,000.
I think it's probably gonna start looking a lot like 2022.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does
I
feel
mean,
that way.
it's the thing is like all the things that tell us if liquidity is in the shits. Liquidity is not really in the shits; it's just headed towards the shits. So, like, I mean, big bombastic craziness is kind of, in my mind, still out of the cards for a little
If
bit.
we end the week at 5,400, I'm gonna be really pissed off.
I'm not. I'll be happy as a fucking pig in shit.
I'm just gonna be mad because that's a garbage support. We shouldn't get support there.
I'll be up like
Look at the delta.
$650 on my foot.
Look how much the delta goes up. I
Who
want
arguing
that like
with right now?
5% out of the money delta in the money. 3 trillion input delta.
I know you want that, Girk, but if that happens, we might actually have the banks die.
That's fine.
Who are you arguing with
Keep
right
my money
now?
with the banks.
Himself, because this is how traders work, Jay Fresh, is they're infinitely paranoid, even against their own minds.
Suck.
82% win rate.
I can't wait for the next NVIDIA earnings so I can just spam suck in the chat again.
Did you guys see my recent stream cards featuring Jensen and
Oh
his
yeah,
tiny
dude.
robot?
Oh yeah,
It's
Jensen's
so
winning.
funny.
Suckbot.
Oh my god.
Bear market, then crash. I mean, it really does look very similar to what we went through in 2022. And conditions are kind of in the same, like, shitty, queasy spot.
Although a lot of it was like, a lot of it was speculation. Right now, I feel like there's a little bit more of an actuality happening here. Like, people just
We might actually suck.
yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that notion. That I think that there are some like investors and stuff who are looking at this and saying maybe the valuation outcome isn't actually so certain. maybe Meta shouldn't be
Maybe
trading at a
risk-
50 PE.
You know,
Maybe
gold
risk
is
exists.
gold went above 3,100 on Friday.
Guys, do you think risk is real?
I don't know. Ask Peter Schiff.
Yeah.
I wonder what
He's a
Peter
great
Schiff's.
subtopic on
I
that.
wonder
Do
what
you
Peter
think that
Schiff's like adjusted cost
things-
basis on gold is.
Do you think that things sometimes can go down?
They can.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, you
How
see,
does that work?
if you look at the chart,
you know, the most convincing thing about the market going down is that it failed to go back up.
so if you look at a chart of SPX over the last 200 years or 100 years, you will notice that it goes up. Okay, so you just got to hold it for 100 years, and your wealth will look like that chart.
I hope when I'm 90 years
that's
old.
the time frame over which seasonality is statistically relevant.
Nice.
90 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
In any one given year, it could do the mean plus or minus 20%.
I hope I'm so correct that when I'm 95 years old, I can tell young people not to buy whatever investment is worthless in their day and age, like Buffett does now.
You know, it's gonna. I
just want to
hope-
wake up every morning, get in my 2001 Chrysler Concorde, drive to McDonald's, and then drive to my
Get
multi-billion
your
dollar office.
$87 McMuffin.
Yeah, buy my $87 McMuffin and my can of Coca-Cola.
But you'll pay $150 to get the real sugar instead of the synthetic baby sugar from the baby farms that they use for Coke in those days.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I'm like probably an extra $50 for the pork version sausage.
Yeah, you've got to buy baby free.
Yeah.
All the poor people just have to eat baby.
And I just own the country's infrastructure.
The baby farm infrastructure, of course.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have started the first one. All right.
Right.
Conversations devolved to baby farms. Time to turn the stream off.
All
Perfect.
right.
Love it.
All right, guys.
Free boat ride for 3. Now, who should I...
Once a year, I'll leave the confines of my office and do an interview with people who own my stock.
You can chortle my balls.
I wonder if Jerome Powell had been more like Volcker, if Trump would have gotten elected. Did anybody think about that?
My sloppy Joe is all sloppy and no joke.
No? Alright. I did.
No.
Okay.
All right,
Alright.
let's cut this. Let's cut the stream.
Yeah, it's time.
We gotta work on our outros.
Yeah.
Later.
All right. See ya.
Thanks for coming on.
Later.
For those of you guys that are still here, thanks for tuning in. I'll have Pickles Picks out at some point tonight or tomorrow morning, and I will see you all for tomorrow, Liberation Week. I hope you guys are ready. I hope you've buckled up and pulled up your bootstraps. Things are gonna get wild, or be very boring. Later.